Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to be learning about our instrument families and creating musical expressions with art. So today I want to talk about what is an instrument family. Well, an instrument family, when I think about a family, I think about uniqueness, culture, background. I want you guys to think about your mommy, your daddy, your sisters, your brothers, and how you guys all have similarities and how you guys look alike. You may talk alike, you may have similarity hair or texture of your toes, maybe the texture and the uniqueness of your skin color, all of those things, all those cool things. Maybe how long your fingers are or how short your fingers are. Maybe your daddy has short fingers and your mommy may have long fingers, or maybe mommy has long hair and daddy has short hair, and maybe your sister came out with mommy's long hair and daddy's short hair. So that's how we want to think about our family of instruments. We want to think about what things are similar and what they all share in common. What is the most common thing that these instruments share to have them in this family? So yes, they all have a family, and that's what we're going to learn today. So in your homework packet, I have placed 2 activities for this first section. So everybody look under section 1 in your homework folder, and you should have 2 activities. I want you to pull out the first one, please. And that first one is named "What Family Am I In?" activity. So today we're going to just do this activity first, and then we're going to move forward, okay? So I'm going to read the instructions. Circle what instrument family you remember for each question labeled. Then match each instrument to the correct instrument family. So in this particular activity, when I read the question, I want you to guess what instrument family this instrument belongs to. So here's your first question, okay? And I want you to circle which family of instruments you think it belongs to. I am the smallest instrument in my family. I am a metal made of copper and zinc. I have a bright penetrating tone. What family am I in? Am I a woodwind? Am I in the strings? Am I in the brass? Or am I in the percussion? I'll give you about 2 minutes to circle your answers, or 30 seconds actually. Good job. I know you guys are probably answering correctly. So what I'm going to do is go to the next question. Question number 2. You guys ready? All right, here we go. I am the second highest sounding instrument in my family. I produce a sound that is light and clear on my high notes. I have a standard symphonic pitch, which is the key of C. What family am I in? Am I in the strings? In the brass family? Am I in the woodwind family? Or am I in the percussion family? I know you guys are doing awesome. So we're going to move on to the next question, number 3. I am the smallest instrument in my family. I am made of many pieces of wood. I have an hourglass shape and am one of the most popular solo instruments. What family am I in? Am I in brass? Am I in the string family? Am I in the percussion or the woodwinds family? Awesome. We're going to move on to question number 4. Last question on this activity. You guys ready? I know you're ready. I am made of a very durable fiberglass and am cut into bars and shaped in various lengths. You must strike my bars with a hard mallet in order to produce a bright and sharp sound. What family am I in? String, brass, percussion, or woodwinds? All right, awesome. I know you guys did a great job. So let's go ahead and go over those answers, okay? All right, let's see what we got. Number 1 was brass family. Good job for those who got that. I'm pretty sure you all got it. Number 2 is the woodwinds family. Yay, good job. Number 3 is the strings family. Good job. And number 4 is percussion family. Fantastic. I know you guys understand those things. And if you don't, if you could just let me know if you do not understand when we get back in class. But these instruments are unique and they fit in a family. And these 4 families, what are the names? Brass, woodwinds, strings, and percussion. We just learned 4 instrument families, and their names are brass, woodwinds, strings, and percussion. Yay! Now we're going to move on to our next activity. In your homework packet, take out in section 1 the second activity, which is called the matching game. Now we're going to try to match our instruments to our names of the families. So I want you to go ahead and take that out and have your pencil ready. And your instructions on this are, you're going to draw a line to from the correct instrument picture to the correct instrument family that is labeled on your paper. So you have 4 instruments that we're going to talk about today on this activity. So on this activity, you should have like a matching game already, and you should have your pencil ready. So on the first instrument, we have an xylophone. An xylophone. When we think about an xylophone, look at the picture. Does it look like we have to blow into it to make a sound? Do we have to maybe strike it with something to make a sound? Probably strike it, yeah. So does the xylophone belong to the string family or to the percussion family? Go ahead and draw your line. Good job. I know you guys are doing awesome. Now, the next instrument we're going to talk about is a violin. A violin which you hold over your shoulder to play. So, a violin, do we have to blow into it to make a sound? Or do we have to strike something with it to make a sound? Or do we have to string something along to make a sound? Does it belong to the string family or the percussion family? Go ahead and draw your line. String family or percussion family? Good job. We're going to move on to our third instrument that we're going to learn today. We're going to move on and talk about the flute. Everybody see the flute picture on there? Oh, how pretty the flute is. Okay, so the flute. Let's talk about that. Do we have to blow into the flute to make a pretty sound? Or do we have to strike the flute with a string instrument, like a string instrument? Or do we have to strike it with a mallet, like something going across it to make a sound? Do we have to do that for the flute? Well, in the picture, we see a hole at the top of the flute. That must be the mouthpiece. Okay, so does this flute belong to the brass family or the woodwind family? Go ahead and draw your line. Good job. I know you guys are doing awesome. So here's our last instrument, the trumpet. Yay, the trumpet. We know that has a great bright sound, right? Remember we talked about that in our last activity. And so does the trumpet belong to the brass family or the woodwind family? Go ahead and draw your line. Awesome. I know you guys did a great job on this activity. And this was just for fun, by the way. So you don't have to worry about it actually being a grade. And section 1 was just an activity section. Good job, you guys. But now we're going to move a little deeper. We're going to move a little deeper into this family of instruments. Now, we're going to get to see how they sound. So first we learned about family of instruments. What are our 4 instrument families? We have the brass family, the string family, the percussion family, and the woodwinds family. Cool families, right? Cool. So we have 4 families, and we just learned 4 instruments that go into the 4, that go into each family. We learned that the flute goes into the woodwind family, We learned that the trumpet goes into the brass family. We learned that the violin goes into the string family. And then we learned that the xylophone goes into the percussion family. Yay! We've learned 4 instrument families and 4 instruments that we know for sure go into those families. That's so cool. It's so exciting. Now let's get to the great part where we can hear what these instruments sound like. In your homework folder, if you will go ahead and turn to section 2. In section 2, you have an activity, which is actually an assignment. Now this one is going to be for you to really critically think about what you hear. So I want you to really try your bestest of the best on this assignment, because you're going to turn this into me, and I'm going to go and I'm going to grade this for a grade, okay? So I want you to really try your best to listen and to hear these instruments in the circle or write down the correct one. So this activity assignment is labeled as instrument sounds and names. So listen very closely to your instructions. You're going to listen to an audio recording of different musical sounds of 4 different instruments. Color or draw the correct instrument or shape that is associated with the sound to categorize the musical sounds. So this is what you're going to do. Some of you guys have shape buddies, which look like this on your paper. So in this example, I have some shapes. And on the shapes, they each have an instrument. So you guys are going to color the right color for each instrument. So we have flute as red, and it's a circle. And then we have a trumpet as yellow, and it's a triangle. And then here we have a violin as green, and it's a square. And then lastly, we have a drums, which is orange, and it's a star. So, what 4 instruments do we have? We have the flute, we have the trumpet, we have a violin, and we have the drums. Okay, so we're going to be able to identify what these instruments sound like. So when I play the recording, all you're going to do is color, those of you who have your shape buddies, color your instrument shapes, okay? For those who have, on your paper, you have an instrument picture. So on your instrument picture here, what you will do is you will color in your instruments. So if you hear a trumpet, you'll color in the correct color for the trumpet. If you hear a violin, you'll color in the correct color for the violin, okay? So that will be what you'll do on this assignment, okay? Those of you who have a blank sheet of paper with the instrument name, you'll be able to draw your own version of the instrument, okay? So, yeah, that should be really fun. Okay, so everybody understand what you're doing? If you have your shape buddies with your instruments, you'll color your shape. In your packet, you should have your crayons that I provided for you. You should have 4. You should have red, yellow, green, and orange. These are the colors that correspond with your assignment. So each instrument has a specific color. I want you to make sure you have the right color for the right instrument. Everybody make sure you have your right color? Okay. So when I play an instrument sound, I want you to pick the right color and color your instrument or your shape or draw your instrument. Okay? All right. Here we go. I know you guys are going to do a great job. So here is your first instrument sound. In just a few minutes, I'm going to pull it up. All right, students, here we go. Get ready. All right, that is the end of the first instrument. Go ahead and color and the correct instrument that you just heard. And we're going to move on to our second instrument sound. Go ahead and get your instrument colored in. And here we go. I'm about to start the next video for your second instrument, everyone. So you should have one instrument colored already. And then we're moving on to our second instrument sound. Here we go. All right, that was your second instrument sound. Go ahead and color that in as I prepare for the third instrument. I'm sorry, that was not supposed to play just yet. I was giving you time to color your second instrument. Okay, you should have your second instrument colored, and you should have a total of 2 instruments colored now. We're moving on to our third instrument sound. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Here's your third instrument sound. All right, go ahead and color in your third instrument sound. Moving on to our fourth instrument. Okay, you should have your third instrument colored. First, second, and third instrument should be colored in. And now, here's your last instrument sound. Here we go. All right, good job. I know you guys have done a great job with that. I know that you guys did awesome. Go ahead and finish in coloring all 4 instruments. Awesome job, you guys. And when you're finished coloring those in, put your name at the top of those papers, put the date, and go ahead and stick it back in section 2 of your take-home folder. And I will receive those when we go back to school. So go ahead and yes, put those back in where I can find those in section 2. Very good job. Very good job. Okay, if you will turn to section 3 in your folders and take out your instruction sheet, because this is our last activity of the day. Now, this is not going to be for a grade. This is for your own fun benefit, but I want you to remember we just talked about a lot of different combinations of instrument sounds and instrument names. So far we have talked about instrument families. We learned 4 different families, which are instrument family brass, string, percussion, and woodwinds. And then we learned 4 different instruments, right? Which are the flute, the violin, the trumpet, and the xylophone. And then we also learned the drums. That was actually 5 instruments we learned. Okay, so we learned that the flute is a part of the woodwind family, the trumpet, the brass family, the xylophone is the percussion family, and the violin is in the string family. And then we learned that the drums are in the percussion family. So now that we know these instrument family names, and we know that these instruments that we learned today, we know what family they go into. And we just learned in our activity what these instruments sound like. So now we're going to really be able to just soak it all in by creating a musical expression through painting. So in your homework packets, I have provided you, there are some sections where you will be able to split up different things, which is what you're going to do. So here are the instructions. You're going to listen to another audio recording of a musical repertoire. I'm going to play a really beautiful musical piece, two actually. And you're going to create an expression using either a paintbrush and paint to produce a painting on a sheet of paper, or you're going to use your craft sticks, hand motions, or body movements to the suit of the music to create a musical expression of the variations in the music. What do I mean, Miss Rob? What do you mean, Miss Robin? What I mean is that I have some paintbrushes here that I sent home with you guys, and you should have at least two in your bag in two colors. So what you're going to do is when I play the music, you're going to paint whatever you feel the music is doing. So if I'm painting a fast, if I am listening to a fast piece, I'm probably going to have colors, I'm probably going to do something like this. So here you see, if I'm listening to a piece that is fast, I'm probably going to have some ripples going on, and you can use whatever colors that I give you to paint with. But in my painting, I probably have some ripples going on here, because it's fast music, right? So this is my version of fast-paced music. If I hear something music going slow, if I hear some slow music or slow tempo, I'm sorry, let me use that language for you guys. If I hear a fast tempo, the red paint that I just showed you would be my reaction in my painting, will be my musical expression. But if I hear a slow tempo in the music, this would be something that I would express in my painting as I'm producing my painting. So, if I hear a slow tempo in the music with highs and lows of notes and pitches, the blue represents my highs and the blue mountains represent my highs and lows, but also the space between the space that I painted between my mountains represent a slow tempo. Up here at the top on the red, I have really close together mountains, or whatever you want to think that they are, but for me, I'm going to call them my little mountains. And my mountains are close together, so that's my expression of a fast song, fast-paced music that I hear, with maybe some high notes and some low notes in there. But the whole expression of it is that it's closer together because the music's faster. And at the bottom, the blue is more spaced apart because the music is slower. So we're going to keep in mind the tempo. So these are the things that I want you to really watch for. I want you to listen for a high-pitched sound and low-pitched sounds of notes. And I want you to listen for a fast pace or a slow pace in the music. So those of you who have your paint, you should have your paintbrush and your paint, a cup of water, a piece of napkin, and a blank sheet of paper that I provided in your packet. Those of you who have craft sticks. In your craft sticks, each craft stick has a specific color for the highs and lows and the fast and slow. So those of you with your craft sticks, listen up, okay? This is what I want you to do. On your craft sticks, for your high notes, if you hear a high note, it's going to be a purple craft stick. And you're going to point it up okay? Like it says in this model here. For your low notes, it's a green craft stick. You're gonna point it down, okay? For your fast tempo of the music, if you hear a fast paced or fast tempo, you're gonna use your blue craft stick. If you hear a slow tempo, you're gonna use your yellow craft stick. Those of you who are moving around with your bodies, this is what I want you to do. If you're moving with your body, if you hear high notes, you're going to raise your hands all the way to the sky, all the way up in the air, as high as you can go for high notes. If you hear low notes, you're going to raise your hands all the way down to your feet. You're going to touch your toes if you hear the low notes. If you hear a fast pace in the music or a fast tempo in the music, you're going to hop, hop, hop like a bunny. Hoppity hop. You can just hop really, really fast. If you hear a slow tempo in the music, you're just going to walk in place really slow like a turtle. Okay? So those are your instructions. Remember, your craft sticks have specific colors, and this is just for fun. So make sure you got your craft sticks with the correct colors, and if you're using your body parts, make sure that you raise your hands way up high for high notes. So, Miss Robin, how do I know? What do I do? Well, I just told you. If you have your craft sticks, this is what you'll do. If you hear a high note, you'll have your purple stick. If you hear a low note, you'll have your green stick. So what happens if the music is high with a slow pace or a slow tempo? Well, I have my high note stick, and the music is going to be this. My high note is going to be up here, and the music is slow, so I guess I'm going to wave my hand slow with my stick to represent the slow high notes. What if you have low notes that are fast? Well, then you'll grab your green stick for your low notes, and you'll just fast-paced low notes, going very, very fast, very fast. Okay? When you're using your body parts, if you hear high notes, you'll just, high notes that are slow, you just wave your hands up like that. What about if they're low notes and they're fast? You'll just hop like a bunny. That's what I told you to do. That's right. Okay? So those are your examples. And those of you who are painting, I showed you my example. I'll show you one more time. It doesn't necessarily have to be exactly like mine, but go ahead and express your music through your paint. Whatever high notes you hear that are fast tempo or a low tempo, a fast tempo or a slow tempo, paint with one color your high notes with a fast or slow tempo. And then if you hear a low notes with fast or slow tempo, paint with a different color, but make sure you express what the music is doing. So the whole point of this activity, the whole point of this game is to just express the music. So whatever you hear the music doing, you just express it in those three ways, using your paintbrush and your paint, or your craft sticks, or your body parts, okay? So I want you guys to be free, loosen up. If you're going to stand up, okay? If you're going to sit and paint, feel relaxed with your arms just tucked back and just relax and just listen to the music. Listen to the what? The four things I told you to listen to. 4 are high notes, low notes, fast tempo, and slow tempo. Those are the 4 things I want you to listen for, okay? All right, so we have all our things ready to go. Are you guys ready? All right, I'm going to play only two musical repertoires for you, okay? And this is our closing activity, so let's just have a really good time with this, okay? All right, here is your first one. Go ahead and get everything ready. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it. What a beautiful, beautiful piece. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and get, those of you who have your paint and your paintbrushes and your paint ready, go ahead and clean off your first paintbrush and put it in your cup of water, let it sit and soak, and then get your second paintbrush that I provided for you ready. Those of you who have your craft sticks, go ahead and get your craft sticks ready. And those of you who are ready who are moving with your body, just go ahead and stretch your arms, stretch your legs, and get ready for the next piece, okay? All right, here we go. Have everything ready. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it. Okay, you guys, I bet that was really fun. I hope you guys had a great time today in class. I hope that you had fun with this video. I hope that you guys learned a lot about the instrument families. I hope that you learned a lot about the instrument names and what they sound like. And I also, most importantly, hope that you understood why instruments are in different families and what the names of those instruments are and what they sound like. I have two questions for you. They're just pop questions. You don't necessarily have to. You can think about the question in your mind, and when you come back to class, when I see you again, I want you to write it down on a piece of paper for me so I can see your answers. Not for a grade or anything. I just want to see, if you really understand it. So here's question number one. And you just have to write down the answer that I am going to provide, two answer choices, and go ahead and write them down. So get your paper out. You should have a blank sheet of notebook paper in section 3. Take that out and get your pencil ready. If you have everything else sitting beside you, just clear a spot for you to answer this one last question of the day. Well, two last questions of the day. And everything else we'll be able to clean up after we get through here, okay? All right, question number one. What family does the flute belong in? The brass or the woodwinds? We talked about that earlier, and I want to see if you remember. So, what family does the flute belong in? The brass or the woodwinds? Okay. And here's question number 2. How would your arms move to a fast musical piece? How would your arms move to a fast musical piece? Would it move fast or slow? All you have to do is write fast or slow for number 2. Number 1, what family does the flute belong in? Either write brass, B-R-A-S-S, or woodwind, W-O-O-D-W-I-N-D. Okay, you guys, that is it for today. And I am so excited to see your paintings and for you to tell me all about how you moved to the music. And I'm also so excited to hear what you've learned when we get back to the classroom. So I can't wait to see you guys. I'm so glad that we had this time today together. I hope you enjoyed the activities that we did today. And please let me know if you have any questions when I see you again. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day. Thank you. I'll see you later. Bye bye.